Hey, friends, thanks again for tuning into this daily encouragement. Today, I want to talk about seeing this opportunity, this season that we're in, as a gift. I know no one, it's hard to think it that way. Most of us, whether we're in fear or just annoyance about what's going on, we want it to be over. We want things to get back to normal, we want life back to normal, we want the economy back to normal, we want our kids, the schools, the grocery stores, social events. We want it to go back to normal. And, so do I. And that's totally understandable. However, that could cause us to miss just really the gift of the season. And so that's what I want to talk about. And the gift of the season is for us to understand where true joy and riches in life come from. Yesterday I briefly mentioned the passage in Matthew 7 where Jesus says that you can build your life on the rock or you can build your life on the sand. If you build your life on the rock, that is his teaching in him. When storms come, when difficulty comes, you don't go anywhere. Life on the sand, anything but his teachings. Storms come, then you go away. And he says something very similar in John chapter 6 when he's feeding the 5,000. So he feeds the 5,000. Everybody gets to eat. Everyone's super happy with Jesus. They want to make him king. They're like, man, if you're going to give us food, we want you to be our king. And Jesus says this, truly, truly, I say to you, you are seeking me not because you saw signs, but because you ate your fill of the loaves. Do not labor for food that perishes, but for the food that endures to eternal life, which the Son of Man will give to you, for on him God the Father has set his seal. In other words, like what he's saying to them is that you just want to be around me when I give you stuff. And once that stuff goes away, once there's no more bread, then you leave. In fact, that's exactly what happens. He goes on to explain more of what he's talking about. And he says, after this, many of his disciples turned back and no longer walked with him. And man, I hope that isn't true for any of you. I hope that isn't true where you're like, man, if God's not going to bless me, if God's not going to give me stuff, if God's not going to make my life better, then, what good is God? And I just want to remind us that, man, every good and perfect gift comes from God. So he is the source. And so what he's trying to say in this teaching is like this bread that you want points to a greater bread that if you eat of, you'll have eternal life. And so the gift to us is to reveal that to us. Maybe we've just been eating on bread that is temporal and not eating on bread that is eternal, that is him. And so these moments of difficulty reveal to us, man, I need to get back to the source. I've been feeding on bread that is temporary. I need to be feeding on bread that is eternal. And that's what Peter ended up saying. He said, where else must we go? Only you have the words of eternal life. So here's my encouragement to you. Return to him. In Zechariah, the prophet says, return to the Lord and he will return to you. And his grace, he wants to pour out grace on you. And so if you're in the season where it's like, man, I realize that I'm just in it for the temporal stuff and I just want the season to go. Don't want the season to go without getting the benefits of the season. The benefits of the season is to draw close to him, to draw close to what is eternal, because he's taken this moment to rip away what is temporal so that you can pursue what is eternal. Love you guys.